Okay, this is so easy, and a lot of times people don't know this exists for them. So I'm just going to show it to you. It's the go statement, but on the go statement, you can add a number after it, which basically says go so many times. So if you put a 5 behind it, it will repeat the batch 5 times. Okay? By repeating it 5 times, this virtually is the same as doing a while statement, and while x is equals to 1 up to 5. And it would just repeat whatever's in that batch 5 times. So that's why it's just like a while statement. Okay, to give you a very simple demonstration of this, I'm just going to type in select 1 as test and say underneath it, say go, right? So when we do that, we're going to see it occur 1 time, right? But let's say I say go 5 and I run the same batch again. As you see, it occurs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's all it is. It's by putting the number after it, you can exercise this many times. So for example, I'm trying to populate a table, or I did populate a table actually, called Fact Online Sales. It originally had 12 million rows in it. I wanted it to get up to 500 million rows. Select all from it and inserted it into itself. It had an identity key, so I just didn't bring in that key, and all the other keys did not run into conflicts. So I was able to, once I realized I could get it in there, I went ahead and populated it. I ran it 10 times, which I knew was going to give me about 120 million rows. And I didn't want to go too crazy with it right away because I wasn't sure how long that would take to insert and whether all my resources would handle it properly and that kind of thing. Now don't get this confused with the transaction. Just because each time it runs and you do an insert, that's a separate transaction. It's not with, there's no transaction involved here except for the intrinsic transaction that occurs on a single statement. Anyways, so if you stop it and after it's repeated 5 times on a run of 10 times, you're going to have those five inserts completed, and they're going to be inside of the table. So it's not going to roll back or anything like that. So it's a very nice, for maintenance, for doing demos, for different things, you might find it useful, and it's not always known to a lot of people that you can do this. Okay, now you can also step on your own toes, okay, which I did, okay, on this example I'm talking about. So what I did was that, and let's go ahead and look at that, but what I did was that when I inserted, I did a select from it, right? Well, once I select all the rows from that table, well, now it has not 12 million rows, but 24 million rows. So the second time it runs, it's going to pull 24 million rows. Then it's going to jump to 48 million rows. And the third time it's run, it's going to go 48 million rows and double that, etc., etc. So you can see the explosion that's about to happen. And as I walked away from the insert of all those rows, I realized within a few minutes that, uh-oh, that's not going to work, and that's going to eventually maybe explode my disk drive. So I got back and I canceled, and actually I had canceled before the first insert of 12 million finished, so it did roll back because intrinsically it is a transaction. And that's it. By the end of it, I did 10 million I did 10 repeats of it. So what I did is I did a select of the first 12 million rows and ordered it by the primary key. So that way I always got a consistent 12 million in, always the same, which was fine. And the only thing that changed the uniqueness of the row was the identity primary key. So anyways, that was how it worked, and it's a good solution for lots of things, and I hope you find it useful to you also. This concludes this video. Please come and see more of my videos at www.sqlcoop.com. Thank you.